Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we are back, and we're going to be talking about obviously something that I've seen online, but essentially it's just what the next character is, right? The next character has been leaked, and it does kind of ease my mind, you know, bring a little peace to my soul, because it is not another burst 3 attacker, right? I don't know about you guys, but I am currently at a point in Nikke where if I see another burst 3 attacker, I will be fuming, right? I'm sorry, we just have way too many, and you guys can all agree with me. We have way too many burst 3 attackers, and it's to a point where we don't need any more as of right now. They're just all too good. Red Hood, Rappy Red Hood, Laplace, Halman, her favorite item, Modernia still, Alice still, Ludmilla still, Noir still, Scarlet, they're all still pretty good in my personal opinion. They're all still very, very, very good, right? Not to mention these brand new characters we're getting, like the Asuka and freaking Mana for freaking Scarlet, like, you know what I mean, bro. It's just way too many. But I'm just going to be talking about the newest character that they're going to be releasing next, which it is a wind character as well. This is who it is, right? The Trina, right? It's a burst 1 20-second wind defender rocket launcher character, right? Botanic Garden squad, so in the same squad as Flora, and the next event is called For Rest. Now the good thing about this, at least for me, is I actually found Flora quite interesting, right? I didn't end up getting Flora until literally after her banner left. I think she was a burst 2, right? Yeah, Flora was a cool character. I feel like Flora was actually a decent character kit wise, but they fumbled when they made her a 40-second cooldown character, right? Because basically how she worked is that for 2 allies on both sides, she was basically healing them every single second continuously. Like, that was just for free, right? Every 100 normal attacks, all electric code allies would have a stat count of any of their buffs increased by 1. Right, and what was she, a submachine gun? A machine gun, just a machine gun, not even a submachine gun, just a machine gun. So that was good, right? And then when your HP falls below 90%, she would just generate a shield for all allies of her final max HP for 10 seconds. And then, what's it called? When basically she reached full HP, or one of the allies reached full HP, she would give a true damage buff. So essentially, if they lost HP and then she healed them back up, she would just keep reapplying that true damage buff, which it's cool, but it's useless because there's not many true damage characters in the game. And then her burst skill, again, it just heals and then gives another true damage buff, right? So I feel like Flora was a cool character. Kit wise, I found her kit really cool, really unique. Her healing was great. She was just a 40-second cooldown. So the thing is, what do we need in the game, right? Like, what do we need in the game right now, right? Where are we in Nikke? What type of characters do we need? Those are the questions we need to be asking with these brand new characters they're deciding to drop, right? I feel like we need another, I don't want it to be Trina, right? This next character coming out, but I feel like we're in I'm at a state where we need another crown, and I'm not talking about like a Grave or freaking Mario. I'm talking like another crown, like a character where, you know, you can put her on this team for this specific element, right? Basically a crown for each element, right? We have crown for every character in the game. Now just make a mini crown for every element. I feel like that's where I am at with Nikke. Some type of supporter. I don't know if we really need sustain at this time. We're just at a point where characters do so much damage where you're not even getting hit, right? The only way I would see you needing sustain is for like anomaly interception, but even then it's more like you want damage, not really sustain, because if you really just handle the gimmicks, you're not going to die, right? If that makes sense. For example, like in Kraken, if you break the tentacle, he cannot do his big damage, right? So it's more like you don't necessarily need any sustain for anomaly interception, because if you just handle the gimmicks, you're good. But if we get another version of crown, like a little mini crown for each element, I feel like that would be fire for the game right now. It is going to be a burst 1 wind character, so I'm not even sure what I would say wind needs, because it's like, are they gonna make them specifically for Asuka and Ray, because they can do that as well, right? Because Ray and Asuka just came out, right? They could make it that Trina is giving a buff, not like in terms of annihilation state or attack state or anything like that, but definitely a buff that will help out those two characters. Mind you, there's not that many wind DPSs in the game, right? You have Scarlet, Mana, Ray, Asuka, Noir to an extent, and then Sakura, right? Those are the only DPSs you have, and again, a lot of these DPSs are a bit iffy, right? Sakura is good, but you like her whole thing is the sustained damage. Noir isn't really a DPS, like she has an AoE, but that's about it. Scarlet is distributed damage. Mana is sustained damage, right? And then obviously Asuka and Ray are this annihilation state and attack state. Well, more Ray than Asuka, but they're all like iffy. So what does Wind need? Does Wind need a buffer for Wind itself, or do we need another burst 1 buffer, right? These are little questions we should be asking ourselves. I don't have the answer. You guys are supposed to answer this in the comments, right? This is basically a video where you guys give me your opinion, because I can't tell you much more about this Trina girl. I don't know what she's doing. Is she in the Nikkepedia? Actually, I never checked. Maybe she's in here and I don't know. Because Nikke does have a problem for putting characters in here too early. No, she's not in here. Or maybe they messed up and put her in Flora Squad Watch. Alright, maybe they messed up. How much you want to bet? Nah, they didn't mess up. They know what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, now looking back at Burst 1s, I feel like we have a good roster of Burst 1s. Like, we still have Dorothy, Tia is still there, Rouge is still there, Red Hood's Burst 1, D Killer Wife, Exo's favorite item is still there, Litter, obviously, Zwei for Pierce, Volume, Miranda's favorite item. Like, I feel like we have very good Burst 1 characters still, and a decent amount where I don't even know if we need, like, a burst 1 for just general use, because all those burst 1s I spoke about are basically for general use, besides Zwei is for Pierce, but everybody else is basically a generally, like, you can put them on as the main burst 1 for any team, right? Zwei is more like you have to put it as the burst 1 for a Pierce team. When it comes to burst 2, that's where it's like, okay, I feel like we need this more, because if you're not running Crown, everybody else kind of requires a duo. Blanc requires Noir, Naga requires either Crown or Tia, right? And then, like, that's all you have, because Grave, I'm sorry, Grave is great and all, but she's a Pierce. Like, I'm not using Grave as a burst 2 unless I'm running a Pierce team, and not even that, like, that's still being a reach. And also for burst 1 you have Rappy. That's what I forgot, Rappy now, like, especially. But for burst 2, Grave is like what? I'm not using Grave unless I'm running Red Hood. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you guys. I'm not using Grave unless I'm using Red Hood, right? So I don't know. I don't know what we need in Nikke right now. Like, I could just tell you we don't need another burst 3, but I cannot tell you what we need, right? So yeah, that's just like kind of laying out all these little information, all these factual information in the video. This is a video basically telling you guys who the lead character was, but the moral of the video is, tell me in the comments what you think Nikke needs, right? Do you think, what, as of right now, what type of character does Nikke need? And if you want to try to build your own character, you can do that in the comments. I'll be reading it. But basically, again, what character does Nikke need? You guys let me know. Are you guys excited for Trina or not? She looks like she's a cow mommy, so I don't know. You guys let me know. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.